was really, I think, on target in terms of both the audience and some of the issues that confront us. We went from talking about sort of one-on-one individual care and collaborative care to really a very big picture issue around funding and the future of graduate medical education. Again, thank you. I know that you had to make some time in your schedule right now to be able to do this. There's a lot going on for you right now. So let me just open it up and see if we have time for maybe one or two questions if folks from the audience have any for Dr. Weinstein. I was very interested to hear you talk about value-based funding. Obviously, we're going to hear more about that, I think, in the next speaker as well. And it's become sort of a mantra here in New York, and it's interesting to hear how it's become part of every conversation about funding for healthcare. But any questions from the audience? Anyone want to step up? It looks like we have one brave soul. Go ahead.
So, Tom, Rochester. So here's the great dilemma for us primary care educators who live in New York State. On the one hand, this is what we drove for, accountable GME that supports primary care. On the other hand, if this were enacted as recommended from the IOM, it would lead to huge cuts in GME coming to New York hospitals, since we are so overfunded, which then would likely trickle down to our residencies, which are at risk of then being cut because they in fact have so fewer GME dollars. So the challenge that I feel as an educator is this is great, but I think it might come back to bite us if it actually happened.
Well, I totally share your worries and see your concerns, but I would suggest a couple of things. First, the institutions need to take a harder look at whether their sponsoring residency programs really should depend on the GME dollars. And I think there might be some surprising answers if we look at that critically in depth at an institutional level. At the same time, I think institutions should start planning for how we could recoup some of the money that would be diverted to the transformational fund. Because remember, nobody's suggesting a cut in the amount of money. In fact, it would be inflation adjusted. It's just going to be redistributed and spent in a different way and hopefully include better incentives in that. So yes, individual institutions might lose, but it might not be as much as they expect. They might be able to recoup some of that loss by doing the kinds of things that we educators wish they'd been doing all along.
Thank you. Any other questions? Dr. Weinstein, thank you so much once again. We really appreciate your engagement in today's conference.